This is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the weekly predictions, weekly transit results starting from the June 20th and June 26th till June 26th for all the ascendants, for all the rising signs. So now friends, as you know this thing that when we take down our discussion or our analysis to the weekly predictions, then we follow the movement of moon in the transit. So definitely friends, during this week, moon is going to be starting its journey from the Aquarius side. Now that will depend on where you are actually based in, because whether moon has already transited to the Pisces sign or it is just going to be coming out of the Aquarius. So that is how the week will start for all of us, and the week will end when moon will make its conjunction with the planet Mercury and Venus. So definitely friends, the conjunction of moon with the Mercury and Venus can be seen as a very good sign. But the only vulnerability during this time or for this week's moon's journey is that friends, initially it is going to get conjunct with Mars as well, and specifically at the time when Mars is going to be crossing from its Gandanta zone. And once moon is going to enter the sign of Aries, it is going to get conjunct with Rahu as well. So definitely friends, the week seems to be a bumpy ride, but even after that, certain signs seems to be getting benefited, and this is something which I will try to explain it to you in this video. Also friends, for any important decision, like these weekly transit videos just give you this idea that in which direction your thought process, your circumstances are going to be influencing you. But in order to land at any important decision, it also becomes very important that your yogas in your chart should be promising that, and your dashas activated time period should be in tandem, in synchronicity with whatsoever I will be predicting over here as a part of the transit results. So okay friends, let's just start with our analysis, starting first with the Aries rising people. So definitely friends, in your case, as you can freely see that to begin with, your 5th house lord Sun is going to be in its very good dignity in the 3rd house. So definitely during this week, when we talk about the charm or elegance in your personality, like anything to do with art, entertainment, creativity, social media, blogging, vlogging, so all those people can definitely get benefited. Your confidence is definitely going to be high. But over and above that friends, I would also say this thing that the mental stress will also be there, because your ascendant lord during this week is going to be transiting from the Gandanta zone, and just because moon is also a part of it, and specifically to your rising sign, moon has also got the rulership of your 4th house as well. So on a emotional mental plane, I'm looking at little bit of the mental stress as well. There could be some sort of travels which can also take place, because moon is going to be making a foray from your 12th house as well. Venus is in a very good dignity, but just because of the presence of 2 benefic planets in your 2nd house, so money will be spent, but only on good things, on auspicious things, or all those spendings which will become a reason of happiness in your domestic life, in your family life. Also friends, like when we talk about from the injury perspective, so definitely friends, if you have that yoga in your chart and you're a kind of person who's very reckless, very impulsive, so I would say that give more heightened attention towards your safety, your health, well-being. Like if in your nature of work, line of work, you deal with sharp-edged tools and weapons for certain profiles and all of that, so you have to remain very cautious, because the transit is creating or making you guys little bit vulnerable towards cuts, injuries and wounds and all of that. Apart from that friends, definitely there could be little bit of the stress which could be on the account of children as well. Even in the matrimonial life as well, there could be some initial confusion, misunderstanding, so there could be little bit of the stress on the account of children, on the account of marriage. If you're already going through difficulties, then those problems can get amplified. But apart from that, if everything is going fine and you are completely in command of your life, like you're not a kind of person who gets agitated or anxious very easily, because I'm just only monitoring the movement of moon, then you do not have to worry much about it. Also friends, like when we talk about from the education perspective as well, so the week is indicating more of imagination, creativity, daydreaming. So you have to actually remain very realistic, very practical, because whatsoever money you will be spending, whether for some tuition fee, mentorship, education thing, so returns on all of the efforts, the money spent will not be as good as you might have anticipated. So over there you have to remain a little bit practical. But apart from that, friends, like the way I mentioned this thing, that if in your line of work third house becomes very important, so all those people can definitely get benefited during this week. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Taurus rising people. So now, friends, in your case, Moon is going to be starting its journey from your 10th house, and it's going to be ending the week getting conjunct with your ascendant lord and Mercury over there in your first house. So definitely, friends, the week's energy seems to be very favorable in all areas of your life. All of your strategies, your plans, your goals, and whatsoever hard work you have been putting in from the past couple of weeks, the result of that you will start experiencing during this week. So good week for important financial gain, good week for the students, for people about to appear in any sort of competitive exam, or for all those people who have been single looking out for any sort of matrimonial alliance. And also, friends, like the way I have already mentioned, that this is a very good week where you will be able to derive the support and cooperation from the people around you as well. Now this could be your bosses, this could be friends, this could be elder siblings. So overall, friends, your charm, your elegance will definitely be the center of attention during this week. And I can also give you a go ahead for any important business meetings. You have to launch something, you have to give suggestion or propose something. So for all those important business, commercial, personal life decision, the week's energy seems to be coming out very much favorable for all the Taurus rising people. The only concern over here is that, friends, there could be a little bit of the unexpected expenses, because as you can fairly see over here, that Moon is going to be crossing from your like 11th house, like crossing the Gandanta zone where Mars is going to be transiting, and it is going to get conjunct with Rahu as well in your 12th house. So there could be a little bit of the unexpected expenses, and like I would also say that the kind of support which you deserve from the father, if that is getting qualified in your case, so there could be lack of support which you deserve from your father or any sort of mentors or guide. So the week's energy seems to be coming out in a way that you will be left on your own to take any important decision. But the beauty is that if your dashas are also favorable and your ascendant lord and the Saturn is a strong placed planet in your chart, so you will be able to do good justice to all of those challenging situations as well. So overall, friends, like I'm actually looking at cooperation, impressive speech, good commercial business decision making during this time. There could be a little bit of the vulnerability of the unexpected expenses, but apart from that, the week is creating very positive news for all the Taurus rising people. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Gemini rising people. So now, friends, in your case, like Moon is going to be making its journey starting from your 9th house and ending the week right over there in your 12th house. So now, friends, the week's energy seems to be a little bit vulnerable in the area of getting into arguments with people around you, because as you can see that the entry of Mars at the end of the week is gonna take place right over there in your 11th house. And over and above that, friends, because Mars is going to be crossing the Gandanta zone as well, and Moon is going to be in a way a part of it. So I would say that try to restrain your impulse, aggression and anger. Now no matter how driven you are, but there has to be a realistic, a legitimate way of conducting or behaving yourself. So friends, your aspirations are definitely all-time high, but during this week you have to work on the ground level. The second thing is that, friends, the week's energy seems to be very mediocre, very average, even for the students or people about to appear in any sort of competitive exam, even in the matters of love and romance or any sort of matrimonial alliance. I'm seeing the week going little bit mediocre only. But let's say, for example, if in your case you work or you deal in the matters of the 4th house, a buying or selling of property, or let's say, for example, you have to sell your property in something, so those people can still get benefited. Friends, try to understand this thing. Just because Jupiter is going to be maintaining its dignity right over there in your 10th house, so I'm not seeing anything challenging your position at work or anything coming in the way of maintaining that dignity or harmony at the work. But the only thing is that your interpersonal behavior, your goals, your aspirations, and specifically refraining from getting into argument is something which I want to give as a one piece of advice for all the Gemini rising people as a part of this week's transit results for all of you guys. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Cancer rising people. So now friends, in your case, Moon is going to be starting its journey from your 8th house and ending the week right over there in your 11th house. So definitely friends, the week seems to be very favorable for new opportunities at work front, some sort of good financial gains perspective as well. This week's energy is also very favorable for the students, for people about to appear in any sort of competitive exam, or people who are on a lookout for matrimonial alliances. Even any sort of travels or change of residence will also prove to be very much favorable. The only dark area is that friends, first of all, because Moon will start its journey from your 8th house, and in a way Moon is going to be a part of the travel of Mars from the Gandanta zone. So specifically Monday, Tuesday, initial few days of the week, you have to give heightened attention to your health. Second thing is that friends, definitely the energy is making you a little bit vulnerable on some sort of stark difference of opinion or some sort of conflicts at work front with your colleagues. But again friends, because I've been saying this thing repeatedly, because your Bhagya Sthana is in a very strengthened state, and because the yoga which is getting formed right now in your 11th house, and Moon is gonna ending the week over there, so trust me, there is definitely going to be a bright light, a good result awaiting at the end of the tunnel. But definitely friends, the more you can refrain from, see, like the way we know this thing, that if you are on a top management, you are on a mid management, or if in your line of work, there is always a very fast paced environment where you work. So then definitely getting into arguments is a part of our job. But unless and until things are not very required, very essential, so refrain from getting into argument. So yes friends, in order to get things done, you might have to be forceful, or this is how people are gonna behave with you. So be open, be ready towards that. How can you maintain your grace, at the same time get the work done? But yes friends, the week's energy seems to be very favorable in all areas of life, whether we talk about finances, enhancement of reputation, new opportunities, new association. So the week seems to be very much favorable for all the Cancer rising people. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Leo rising people. So now friends, in your case, Moon will start its journey from your 7th house and will end the week right over there in your 10th house. So definitely friends, the week seems to be very much favorable, specifically regarding the matters of your profession. So first of all friends, because as you can see that Mercury and Venus is well placed right over there in your 10th house, and Moon is gonna get conjunct with them at the end of the week. So definitely there's going to be that honey or sugar which will be pouring out of your tongue, and you will be able to impress everyone around you with your influential, impressive speech. Also friends, regarding the financial front, regarding the enhancement of the reputation perspective as well, being able to do justice to any sort of responsibilities which will be assigned to you during this week, for all those people who are students or about to appear in any sort of competitive exam, or for all those people who are looking forward towards some sort of matrimonial alliances and proposals, the week's energy seems to be very favorable for all of that. Also friends, like when we talk about any of the concerns of buying any property, which if you are planning for this week, or buying of any vehicle and all of that, so definitely friends, the week's energy seems to be favorable. The only concern is that because Moon is going to be making its journey crossing from your 8th house as well, so give heightened attention regarding your health. And just because your confidence is going to be all-time high, so try not to leave things on destiny. The more you are going to be in grip, in command, in control of the circumstances or situations all around you, the better you will be able to conduct or execute yourself. Also friends, your influence and your reach is going to be so strong that not only you will be able to put your best efforts in any task which you will be a part of, but also you will be able to help other people as well. So overall friends, like I'm actually looking at some good week for all the Leo rising people, whether we talk about from your financial perspective, regarding your career perspective, relationship, personal life perspective, even for all those people who are planning or trying for the family expansion and all of that. So the week's energy seems to be very much favorable for all the Leo rising people. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Virgo rising people. So now friends, in your case, Moon is going to be starting its journey from your 6th house and is going to be ending the week right over there in your 9th house. So definitely friends, this week's energy seems to be very favorable, specifically for all those people who are in any sort of job or corporate job, or you work for the multinational organizations and all of that. So for the service professionals, the week's energy seems to be very much favorable. Also friends, the week is creating positive news that you will be able to amass or get the support of the bosses or authority figures. Like if you actually want to initiate something or start something new, the week seems to be very much favorable for that. Because friends, in any case, as you can see that Mercury and Venus, like your ascendant lord, is a part of that, and Moon is going to be ending the week getting conjunct over there in your 9th house. So definitely friends, luck is actually supporting you. The only few red flag areas which I want to highlight over here is that, first of all, try to be very cautious in any sort of partnership nature of work. Like specifically avoid getting into disputes or arguments, because things might go bad otherwise, because as you can see that your 8th house is soon gonna get very accentuated in the transit. So avoid dispute. Even if you can avoid any of the engagement of the loans during this week, that will seems to be a wise decision. But apart from that friends, definitely this week is gonna give you the results and rewards of all the hard work which you have been putting in. And I've already covered friends, for all the matrimonial seekers, for people who are still students or about to appear in any sort of competitive exam, the week's energy seems to be very much favorable. The only concern over here is that friends, like the way I mentioned this thing, that any of the concerns of the joint resources or any of the concerns of loans, or within the marriage as well, like you might be a little bit worried on the account of the health of your spouse. So those are the only things which are making you a little bit vulnerable. But apart from that friends, specifically for the service professional, new opportunities, new initiatives, and good returns on all the hard work which you have been putting in. So that is how we can see the theme of this week for all the Virgo rising people. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Libra rising people. So now friends, in your case, as you can fairly see that Moon is going to be starting its journey from your 5th house, and it is going to be ending the week right over there in your 8th house. So definitely friends, one thing which I want to say over here is that this week is making you a little bit vulnerable for any sort of impulsive decision making, specifically where finances are involved. Also friends, because Mars is going to be traveling through the Gandanta zone, starting its journey from your 6th house and ending the week getting conjunct with Rahu right over there in your 7th house, and somehow Moon is going to be a part of it. So it is actually creating an energy of conflicts at work front, difference of opinion at work front, and also friends, any major chunk of financial decision making where uncertainty is involved, risk is involved, people's credibility is involved. So try to pull your hand out of it, or at least push it for the following week. So yes friends, like my advice to you guys is that try not to be leaving things on other people, on luck, on destiny, and also all of your dreams and aspirations need to be well calculated, like have to be very realistic, very practical, and you have to be on the ground details rather than flying high. So this is something friends which I want to say over here. The energy of this week seems to be more conducive of being watchful, being calculative, being on the back foot. So that is something which I want to advise to all the Libra people. Trust me friends, I'm a kind of person who always start with and emphasize more on the positive notes. But during this week, the way planetary alignments are getting formed, it is in a way making you a little bit vulnerable, specifically on the matter of the financial losses. So the only reason why we watch all these videos is that so that we can remain well prepared, and we should not give way to, or we should not surrender to whims, impulses and instincts. So that is something friends which I want to say. And obviously if your ongoing dashas are making you secured or protective, and over and above that, in your line of work you are in a very safe and secured 9 to 5 kind of job where there is not much of the instability is required or involved, then you might not get affected. But for every other person, my advice is that any important financial decision during this week needs to be taken with a lot of contemplation and care. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Scorpio rising people. So now friends, in your case, moon is going to be starting its journey from your 4th house and is going to be ending the week right over there in your 7th house. So definitely friends, to begin with, luck will definitely support you in all areas of life. All of your plans, your endeavors will get well supported because of the support of luck. Second thing is that friends, the week's energy also seems to be very favorable, whether you are a student or about to appear in any sort of competitive exam, for the service professional, for the business people as well. I'm just looking at a little bit of the trivial misunderstanding at work front, but apart from that, it's not gonna affect you negatively. Rather, you will put forth your best efforts, your confidence is going to be all-time high. The week's energy is very favorable for the matrimonial alliances, even if you are planning to sell your properties or any engagement in the matters of the construction, land, real estate, all those people can also get benefited. So friends, there is a little bit of the vulnerability only which is forming at the work front, initial trivial misunderstanding, or there could be a little bit of the discomfort to the father. So those are the only things where you have to remain very watchful if those are getting qualified in your case. But apart from that friends, for overall well-being, growth, prosperity, even for all those people who are planning for family expansion and all of that, so the week's energy seems to be very much favorable for all the Scorpio rising people. The only one thing is that as much as of you can refrain from getting into arguments or conflicts, if that is a part of your nature of work. You work in a very fast paced environment, or you work in any law firm, or you work in any sort of policing or arbitration nature of work, then that is a different case. But apart from that friends, when you by yourself know that your ascendant lord is chasing Rahu in transit, is about to enter your 6th house, so getting into conflict deliberately or with your willfulness is not something which I will say as a right decision at this time, when all other areas of your life is indicating positivity and good news of success and well-being. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Sagittarius rising people. So now friends, in your case, moon is going to be making its journey starting from your 3rd house and ending the week right over there in your 6th house. So now friends, as you can freely see over here, that right over there in your 6th house, although planets are going to be in a very good dignified state, but because of the Mars going through Gandanta, or Mars going to get conjunct with Rahu, so I would say that try to refrain from any entanglement of the loans or credit during this week. Second thing is that friends, definitely there could be some sort of discomfort on the account of some family member, or a pain or discomfort or any worries on the account of some near dear family member might keep you occupied mentally during the initial few days of the week. And also friends, the week's energy seems to be only favorable for any important decision pertaining to your property or land or construction, or property related decision making can still be seen as working in your favor. But apart from that friends, there could be a little bit of the obstacles in the income, and also friends, your mental emotional state looks like to be a little bit unstable during this week. So I'm not actually finding you guys in that right sound mental state to take any important lifetime decision. So I would say that try to be looking out for the other people's, specifically your well-wisher or any expert opinion, while giving your nod to someone or while taking any important decision. Apart from that friends, even from the students perspective as well, I'm looking forward to a little bit of the obstacles, like if you have to appear in any sort of competitive exam during this week, you have to work very hard. Also friends, even the health front as well, I'm seeing you guys little bit of the falling vulnerable. So my overall suggestion to all these Sagittarius rising people for this week is that if you have to initiate something new, and if there is a lot of credibility related issues or uncertainty is shadowing it, so try to pull your hand out of it. Try to execute and manage whatsoever you have right now in your hand. And apart from that, any of the concerns of loans and credits need to be done with lot of contemplation, lot of care. Not a very good week even for the matrimonial alliances perspective as well. There could be some delays, or things might not progress as you might have anticipated. So in all those areas, you have to remain little bit cautious during this week. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Capricorn rising people. So now friends, in your case, Moon is going to be starting its journey from your second house and is going to be ending the week right over there in your fifth house. So now definitely friends, just because in the transit, your fifth house is in a very dignified state. So all the matters of the fifth house is definitely gonna benefit you during this week. Now whether you are a student or whether you are about to appear in any sort of competitive exam or the fields of art, entertainment, creativity is getting qualified in your case. So your mental aptitude is going to be very strengthened. It's going to be very strong during this week, which will actually drive some very good decision making. Second thing is that friends, definitely because Mars is going to be transiting from the Gandanta zone, entering your fourth house, getting conjunct at the end of the week with Rahu in your fourth house. So not a very good week for any property related decision making, any vehicle related decision making. Also friends, the week seems to be favorable for some sort of sudden unexpected gains, financial gains at your work front. Regarding that front, the week is favorable. The only thing is that friends, because the Mars's journey from your third house and entry in the fourth house, and if you're a kind of person who's very active all the time on social media, so the way you're gonna present yourself or the way you're gonna write or comment, so the energy is getting formed in a way that there is always a fear during this week that your efforts, your communication might get misinterpreted. So over there you have to remain very transparent, very clear in your expression, in your communication. If your content or your spoken words are going to be ambiguous, that might make you a part of the conflict. So over there you have to remain a little bit cautious. Also friends, like definitely because of your sound decision making, you will definitely gain from any sort of conflict. But my advice is that as much as it's possible to pull yourself out of any dispute, any conflict, the better it is going to be, because your mental state can actually drive your energies towards some very good decision making rather than battling or challenging or dealing with the mess or conflicts of other people. So that is something friends which I want to say over here. The weak energy is good for some important work related progress. Your mental aptitude, your mental health is definitely going to be very sound, and definitely people connected with the fields of art, entertainment, creativity, they are definitely going to get benefited because of their good decision making during this week. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Aquarius rising people. So now friends, in your case, Moon is going to be starting its journey from your first house and is going to be ending the week right over there in your fourth house. So definitely friends, the week seems to be very favorable in all areas of your life. Whether we talk about enhancement of the reputation, new opportunities coming your way, or for the students, for the people about to appear in any sort of competitive exam, the week's energy seems to be favorable. Whether you talk about love, romance, new association, matrimonial alliances. So friends, I'm not seeing the Aquarians vulnerable in any front, specifically if you work in the fields of media, entertainment, technology, engineering, commission based work, travel and tour work, sales, media. So all those people can definitely get benefited. The week's energy seems to be very favorable. The only thing is that friends, because Mars is in a way your 10th house lord, and during this week, whenever Mars is going through its Gandanta zone and Mars is going to get conjunct with Rahu, so in a way Moon is going to be a part of it. So the journey of the Mars is going to start from the second house and it's gonna end in the like your third house. So I would say friends that there could be some sudden, unpredictable, forceful energy of argument or harsh argument with any close friend of yours or any colleague of yours. So over there you have to maintain your grace and calm over in that conflicting, agitating, provoking situation. But apart from that friends, definitely regarding expecting good out of all of your hard work or association, enhancement of reputation, short journeys, travels, good quality time being spent with your loved ones. So overall I'm looking at some very positive, relaxing, progressive week for all the Aquarius rising people. And last friends, for all the Pisces rising people. So now friends, in your case, as you can freely see that Moon is going to be starting its journey from your 12th house and is going to be ending the week right over there in your third house, which can be seen as a very good energy. Because friends, in any case, your third house is right now in a very dignified state because of the presence of the Venus and Mercury, and another benefic planet Moon is going to be ending the week over there. So definitely friends, you will gain from the travels, or all of your initiatives or efforts will prove to be very fortune awakening. Specifically, if you are a freelance person, you are a self-employed person, so all those people can get benefited. So enhancement of reputation, good career related opportunities, getting and deriving the good support from the authority people, from the bosses. The only vulnerability over here is that friends, like as you can see that Mars is going to be traveling through the Gandanta zone, and it's going to get conjunct with Rahu afterwards. And in a way, Moon is a part of this sensitive, volatile journey of the Mars. And Mars in your case has got the rulership of the 9th house as well. And it will start the week from the 12th house. So friends, short journey is one thing, but when we talk about any long distance travel or foreign travel, so unless and until it is not that badly required, so try to postpone it, because it is creating this energy or those kind of circumstances where things might not work out as you would have anticipated, or there was some problem in the documentation, you forgot something, you got struck somewhere. So unless and until a travel is not that badly required, long distance foreign travel, try to refrain from that. And also friends, like when we talk about from the perspective of the students or people about to appear in any sort of competitive exam, the week's energy seems to be very favorable. Even for all those people who are looking out for any sort of matrimonial alliance, any engagement, or dealing in the matters of the property and all of that, the week's energy seems to be very much favorable. Friends, the beautiful aspect is that because Jupiter is right now very well placed in your first house, so wisdom is something which is getting whispered right over there in your ears from the angels, from the cosmic astral entities. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for the weekly transit results from the June 20th till June 26th for all the rising signs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook.